All right, so I mentioned to you guys last session when we were doing chapter 3D to skip a couple of questions, and that's because that's this stuff that we hadn't learned about just yet because it wasn't in the notes. So please make sure you've got this in your bound reference or in your notes or somewhere so you can actually use it for the exam or the SAC when we have it. So this rule is what we call the nth term rule. Now you learn more about it in year 11 because it does become a lot more used very frequently because it's very, very useful. Okay, and the idea behind the nth term, we just call it nth term because the nth is basically saying what term you're looking for. It's this little n. That's the n that you're looking for. What is the value of it? Okay, and it's useful because it helps you to find values such as term number 30, term number 50, or even whatever. And why is that useful, guys? Why is it useful for finding high value terms? It's too time consuming. Yeah, so if you get your calculator, and you were to find the 30th number, let's say my starting term was 23, and I'm going to add 4 each time. How many times do I have to press enter to get to 100? Well, that's a lot of enters, yeah? So it's too much, and it's hard to keep track. That's why we use this rule. Okay, this very, very special rule, which is basically Tn equals A plus N times D. That's all it is. So basically what this is saying is the value of Tn is equal to A, which is the starting term, plus N times D, which is the term that you're looking for times the common difference. Okay, that's all it's saying. So these are things that you've already learnt about. You're just adding one extra letter, which is the term that you're after. So you want to make sure that you understand what each letter means. So A is the starting term. Everyone knows what that is. N is the number you're looking for. So it's either the 30th number, 50th, 100th, 60th, 28th, whatever it is. And then D is the common difference. Everyone knows the common difference. It's how much it goes up or down by. So in this example, okay, let's answer this question. So we've got a sequence, 12, 19, 26, 33, 40. What I like to do first is label it. Okay, so let's label this. You can use any letter you want, but remember, the starting number is always T0 or V0 or Z0, whatever it is. In this case, we'll just call it T0. This will be T1, that's T2, T3, T4. Now, that being the case, we need to find two things, yeah? What is the value of A, which is V0 or T0, doesn't matter, and then what's the common difference? So let's list that out. Anyone want to tell me what's the value of A here? 12, easy, all right? That's the first, or the starting number, not the first. Now we need to find the common difference, which is D. Does anyone remember the formula for the common difference? I'll use capital D. Good. Any term minus previous. So can anyone pick a term for me? Anyone? T3. All right. So we're going to go T3, take away T2. Remember, if you want full marks, you have to show the working out for it. I know it's basic, but just show it. So 33 minus 26, which should be positive 7. So that means our common difference is plus 7. Easy. You don't have to do T3 minus T. You can do any term, really. As long as you don't do T0 minus... Yeah, look, I would just to be safe, just put it in. Okay, you never know who's going to check your work in year 12 when you do your exams. They can be very, very strict on this kind of stuff. So just do it for the sake of getting the mark. All right, next thing is we need to make our nth term rule. Now remember the rule looks like this. Tn equals A plus N times D. Now, I haven't quite written it in a proper way here, but what you're doing for this question, for B, is you're just going to give me the rule where it's Tn equals, tell me what's A plus N times, and then tell me what's D. That's all it is. That's all you're telling me. So in this case, guys, what's A and then what's D? Those are the two things you're writing in this equation. So, Attila, can you tell me the value of A in my nth term rule equation? 12. Good. So you're going to write 12. Okay. Plus N times. And Chris, what's the value of D? Sorry? 7. Where did you get 17 from? 7. So the actual rule is going to look like that. Tn equals 12 plus n times d. That's the rule. And then for question C, it says, using your rule, find the value of term number 28. So term 28. So what you have to do is, using that rule that you just made, you need to find T28. So in order to write that, you're just going to go literally, I rewrite the rule. So it looks like this. Tn equals 12 n times d. You're correct. Thank you. So your actual equation is going to be T, just change n to 28. So 28 is equal to 12 plus 28 times the common difference. Oops, sorry, I should have written 7 here. Times 7. And you're literally just going to put this in your calculator. Just that. That's it. So that means the value of T28, or term 28, is going to be, let's confirm that, 12 plus 28 times 7. 208. Easy. Thank you, Attila. So that's the value of T28. 208. And you can use this again for any arithmetic sequence. When it comes to geometric, it's a bit different. But for any arithmetic sequence, this rule, okay, is very, very useful because it helps you find any term that's really, really high. Okay, any high value terms. Are there any questions? Any questions? No questions?